Let me ask you something that might completely change the way you see happiness forever. Some people seem naturally happier, and it has nothing to do with money or luck. It is not about their circumstances, their relationships, or how perfect their life looks from outside. It is because their brain has been quietly trained to process the world in a completely different way. And here is the most powerful thing nobody ever told you about happiness in your life. Happiness is not a personality trait you were either born with or forever without in your life. It is a skill, a learnable, trainable neurological skill that your brain can develop starting today. Scientists have discovered that tiny habits, taking just seconds, can rewire your brain for lasting happiness. Not a 30-minute morning routine, not a life overhaul, not waiting for everything to finally go right. Just micro habits, small, simple, almost invisible actions that silently reorganize your brain from the inside. Today, I will walk you through 7 of the most powerful micro habits backed by psychology and neuroscience. Each one takes only seconds, but the emotional shift you feel will be immediate and very real. And pay close attention, because habit number 7 is the one most people completely overlook every single day. It is the habit that creates the deepest emotional transformation, so please do not skip it under any circumstances. Are you ready to stop waiting for happiness and start building it one micro habit at a time? Habit 1, the 3-second smile switch. This first habit sounds almost too simple, but the science behind it will genuinely surprise you completely. Your brain has a powerful feedback loop running constantly between your face and your emotional control center. When you smile, even a small or forced smile, your brain releases dopamine and serotonin immediately. It doesn't matter if the smile is real or not, because your brain cannot tell the difference here. Psychologists call this the neurochemical shortcut, a direct line between your facial muscles and your emotional chemistry. The micro habit is this: smile for just 3 full seconds whenever you feel low or disconnected inside. Do it when you wake up, when you're waiting, when you're overthinking, or even right now. Try it. Smile for 3 seconds and notice that quiet, subtle wave of lightness washing over you right now. That's not your imagination, that's your brain adjusting its chemical balance in real time for you. One tiny moment, one micro habit, and one very real neurological shift happening quietly inside your mind. Habit 2, the 10-second breathing reset. Breathing is the only system in your body that runs automatically, but that you can also consciously control. This means that the moment you change your breath, you instantly change how your entire body feels inside. When you're stressed, your breathing becomes short, tight, and shallow without you even realizing it happening. Your brain reads that shallow breathing as a signal that danger is near and reacts with rising anxiety. Your muscles tighten, your thoughts race, and your emotional state spirals downward faster than you can notice. But one single conscious breath is enough to completely interrupt that entire stress cycle in your body. The micro habit is simple. Inhale slowly for 4 seconds, hold for 1 second, then exhale for 5 seconds. Just one breath like this activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your body's built-in calm switch, instantly. Stress drops, mental clarity rises, your body shifts from threat mode to safety mode in under 10 seconds. You can do this anywhere, at your desk, in traffic, in a conversation, and nobody will ever notice. Habit 3, the one good thing focus flip. Happiness is never about having a perfect life. It's about learning to notice what's already good. Your brain is wired with a negativity bias, meaning it spots problems far faster than it spots positives. This is an ancient survival mechanism, but in modern life, it quietly drains your happiness every single day. The micro habit is this:
Pause and name just one good thing in your life out loud or mentally. It doesn't have to be deep or profound. Something simple is more than enough to create a real shift inside. I'm breathing. I have a roof. I ate today. My phone works. The sun is out right now. That single habit does 3 powerful things inside your brain that most people never take advantage of daily. It interrupts negative thought loops that spiral. It pulls your attention back to the present moment immediately. It also increases dopamine and gratitude chemicals, lifting your emotional baseline higher than it was before today. One small thing, one moment of noticing, and one genuine shift in the direction of your mood right now. Habit 4, the posture power reset. This habit surprises people every single time because it feels almost too physical to be emotionally powerful. Your posture is not just about how you look, it directly shapes how your brain makes you feel. When you slouch, head down and shoulders caved inward, your brain releases chemicals linked to stress and helplessness. It reads that collapsed posture as a signal of defeat and floods your system with low-energy emotions. But when you sit or stand tall, shoulders back, chest open, chin lifted, everything shifts inside immediately. Your brain releases confidence signals and happiness chemicals within seconds of that simple physical adjustment happening. You're not just changing your posture, you're physically changing the hormonal environment inside your body right now. Your brain starts perceiving you differently, more capable, more grounded, more in control of whatever comes next today. 10 seconds of better posture is 10 seconds of a better emotional state. That trade is always worth it. Habit 5, the emotion naming technique. This is one of the most powerful psychological tools ever discovered, and almost nobody uses it daily consistently. When you feel stressed, sad, angry, or overwhelmed, your brain panics because it can't fully process the emotion. The emotional brain goes into overdrive, amplifying the feeling and making everything seem more intense than it is. But the moment you simply name the emotion you are feeling, something extraordinary happens inside your brain immediately. The amygdala, the brain's emotional alarm system, reduces its activity the instant you put a label on feelings. The emotion doesn't disappear, but it becomes significantly less intense, less overwhelming, and far more manageable quickly. The micro-habit is this. Whenever something feels heavy, just name it out loud or quietly to yourself now. I'm stressed. I'm frustrated. I'm anxious. I'm overwhelmed. I'm exhausted. I'm feeling afraid. That simple act of naming moves you from emotional chaos into emotional clarity in a matter of mere seconds. You're not suppressing the feeling, you're processing it, and that's how real emotional control actually works. Habit 6, the 5-second perspective reset. When you're overwhelmed, your brain enters what scientists call tunnel vision, and everything feels dangerously close. Your visual field literally narrows, your perception shrinks, and your nervous system interprets everything as an immediate threat. The world feels smaller, heavier, and more suffocating than it actually is in those overwhelming high-stress moments. But there's a 5-second micro-habit that instantly breaks that tunnel and restores your sense of calm space. Simply look at something far away for 5 seconds, across the room, out the window, toward the open sky. This small act signals to your nervous system that you are physically safe and that no immediate danger exists. Your vision widens, your muscles relax, your breathing slows, and your brain resets its entire threat assessment immediately. 5 seconds of looking into the distance makes the world feel bigger, safer, and far less overwhelming than before. It's one of the simplest habits on this list, and yet its calming effect is almost shockingly immediate. Habit 7. Ask, what would my future self do?
This is the habit that changes everything, and it's the one most people never think to use daily. When you're emotional and reactive, you're operating from the most impulsive, short-sighted part of your brain. Decisions made from that place rarely serve you. They often make the situation feel heavier and more complicated. But if you pause and ask one question, everything shifts in a direction you didn't expect. Ask yourself, what would the happiest, strongest, most grounded version of me actually do right now in this? That single question activates your prefrontal cortex, the brain region responsible for clarity, long-term thinking, and emotional control. Your future self would breathe deeply, would release tension from the shoulders, would smile just slightly, and continue forward. Your future self would not spiral, would not react, would choose calm, intentional action over impulsive emotional response today. This micro-habit transforms emotional chaos into emotional intelligence in 5 seconds with one quietly powerful internal question. It is the smallest habit on this list, and it may end up being the most life-changing one yet. Happiness is not something you wait for. It is something you build, moment by moment, habit by habit, daily. You now have 7 micro-habits you can use to generate genuine happiness anytime you want, starting right now, today. Use one today. Use another tomorrow. Soon, your brain will begin choosing happiness automatically without any conscious effort at all. That is the real power of micro-habits. Small actions, consistent repetition, and a brain that slowly rewires itself completely. Your happiness is not far away. It is not hiding behind better circumstances or a more perfect version of life. It is one micro-habit away. It always has been, and now, finally, you know exactly what to do next.